Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Naked Ask, where we have some raw talk about the power in and of asking. I'm Dia Bondi, and long-term and long-time communications coach, fundraising auctioneer, and creator of the program Ask Like an Auctioneer, where using the mental model and tools of auctioneering, we really power up your ability and skill and courage around all things asking, so that you can use asking as a success tool so you can reach your goals. Today, I really want to talk to you about the language and the experience of asking. I live in an area where we have a lot of steep hills, and I use those hills once or twice a week in my workouts to go for a run. And as I climb those hills, it's sort of the rhythm of doing that lets me have a little reflection time on what's got my attention and where my reflections on the project that I'm working on right now around Ask Like an Auctioneer. And a couple of weeks ago, I was just reflecting on the language that we use around asking and how sort of disconnected it is from the actual experience of asking. You know, all the time we hear ourselves say to our friends, say to our colleagues, go ahead and ask. There's no harm in asking. There's no shame in asking. It doesn't hurt to ask. And I want to call bullshit on that. Because asking is hard. It is loaded full of potential shame for us. Getting a no feels like shame. Maybe it is shame. I'd be curious if it feels like close to a shame feeling for you to get an ask or to anticipate an ask. It does hurt to ask. It's hard for us. And in fact, it is the number one reason I get requests for doing coaching. People want coaching. Most of the time, they already have a pretty good idea of what they want to ask for. The coaching comes in, how do I actually do it? How do I actually have find the language, but more importantly, find the courage to make that ask? Because making the ask has risk associated with it. And if that's your experience, you are not alone. I can't tell you how many women I hear say things like, I need to get better at asking, or I'm not good at asking. The truth is, we have all the tools that we need in front of us. We can find the language. We can articulate the ask in a written document when it belongs to us. But when we send it out into the world, when it has a potential for a no attached to it and all the things that surround that, that's when it gets really hard. So when we hear ourselves use this sort of flip and casual language around asking, I just think it doesn't actually represent the experience of what it feels like to ask. So if you think about too, how we set up our asks, so often they're set up with language that makes our ask unimportant, small, just a small inconvenience. And we really end up basically annihilating our ask, making it unimportant, sounding like it is unimportant to us in order to create, sort of grease the skids enough for us to be able to make it. Maybe you find yourself writing in an email, I hate to bother you, or I know you're very busy, or I would just like to make a quick request, when really it's actually something that feels not so small to us. So I sort of want to encourage us to take a good look at and take an honest look at how big these things actually feel to us. That they feel important to us. We have to treat them like they're important. That we have to give them the importance and the status and the platform that they actually represent for us. Which doesn't mean we need to scream it from a mountaintop, but it means that we need to treat it with respect and dignity and care, because it's what we need. When we make a courageous ask that's aligned to what we want, we are respecting ourselves. We are dignifying our own desires when we step forward and we make a request around them. And we are encouraging others to do the same when we stand up for what we really want. So if asking is hard for you, you are not alone. You are not alone. The private conversations I have with people about articulating and sending their asks into the world are not small. They include a lot of hand-wringing. They include a lot of angst. So treat it like it's as important as it actually feels. And that's what Ask Like an Auctioneer really is all about. How do we get the tools so that it being hard doesn't become a blocker for you, but that we honor how difficult and how high risk and high stakes it can feel for us, and treat it as such. Put the tools and the frameworks and the care around it that it requires. This is interesting to you. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on Twitter using the handle @DiaBondia. You can DM me on any of those platforms, and I'm starting to do some Q&As where I'll answer questions that I get on my IGTV, so you can go over there and check that out. If you want to stay in touch with this project, you can, and you're watching this on mobile, you can either go to asklikeanauctioneer.com and register for the mailing list, or you can just text the word ask to 66866 and you'll be right on my mailing list and getting notifications of upcoming offers and opportunities to dig into this for yourself if you're interested in getting really good and courageous about the important asks that you will make in your career and in your professional journey so you can reach your goals and have the impact that you want to have. And today's inquiry, and if you've watched my other few videos that I've published so far, you'll see that I'll end them all with an inquiry. And an inquiry is just really a question for you to walk around with in the world, for you to hold into your awareness as you go into the interactions of every day, so that you can get some insights into something new for yourself. You can gain a little bit of a learning or a different understanding that you can then bring into the world of asking for yourself. So it's not meant to have a concrete answer. You can also use it for journaling if you'd like. So today, I think your inquiry is like, what is my experience of asking? What is the experience for me? All right. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.